Hi everyone. So last week we talked about knowing more about yourself by looking back at your past and how you grew up, looking at your parents and how they did certain things that they did and how this might look like what you're doing right now. We looked at once you discover these things, the responsibility now lies on you with all this awareness to do better for yourself and for your children and generations to come. So, today we're going to delve into parts 2 of Breaking Unhealthy Generational Patterns. My name is Petrina Eduse.
And I am Mami Awinado.
And we're sisters.
I think it's...
She's younger, I'm older.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably not that obvious, but yes. And last week we actually did say that we're going to really be authentic and real and share our own personal experiences. And hopefully that you could learn something from that, right?
Yes.
So, yes. So, what will we start from? Pretty much, I think maybe...
You used to complain that each time you had an issue and you came to me, the way I would handle it was a little condescending or something.
Because I always felt like she came from a place of intellectualism or the idea of she's using logic and I'm the emotional one. And so even in our arguments, we never came to a proper resolution because it was like she was saying, I was saying, right? She wasn't empathizing or seeing things from my point of view. And then she felt like maybe I should use more of my head, would you say, than my feelings, right? And I don't know how you felt about me in that situation also in terms of when we had arguments.
And I think that for me, exactly what you said, I'd always think, oh, well, you're being overly emotional about this thing. You need to be able to break things down, look at how your emotions affect your behavior, certain parts of my counseling would set in, but like you said, without the empathy. And then lately, through our discussions, sometimes talking about our parents, we realize that
the exact same way, and they see the same thing the same way, right? And then we actually came to the thing of maybe that saying. I heard the saying that I am my mother is me, and I'm my father is me, because they are the first examples of normalcy that we see. They create what is normal, whether it's in the terms of love or relationship, right? We see it from how they model it, not what they actually say, but what they do, right? Exactly. And so the kind of things that came up, and even how I used to handle conflict before. You talk about hanging up the phone. That was one of the things. It used to take me 2 days.
She was a queen of low blows, super low blows.
Was the queen?
I said was.
And she was always trying to fix me, right? Because she did psychology. This is why you are doing what you're doing. I didn't want to hear it.
And that's exactly how my dad was, you know.
Always trying to fix us.
So we, after noticing these things, we decided to become more intentional with each other. When she comes to me with an issue, now I'm more intentional about understanding how she feels and empathizing with her before I jump straight into fix it this way, think about it that way. And I've noticed that she has also learned to be not less emotional, but not to allow her emotions to cloud, her judgment as much as before.
And I'm still learning, and that is why we feel like you are going to see these things play out in different ways at home, whether it's through being passive aggressive, whether it's by being
going out and coming back late to annoy the person. Increasing the volume
different
when they're on
ways,
the phone.
Exactly. But one of the fundamental things is that we are, through our parents and the people around us, they are mirroring things about us that we can do better in. The things that we see and then they disturb us. And so hence the famous Bible verse that remove the log from your eye before you remove the speck from your brother's eye, right?
Okay, so what we want to do today is to challenge you to sit down. We say it all the time. We hear people say, oh, you're just like your mom or you're just like your dad, and we just talk about it and leave it. But how do we intentionally now take the unhealthy patterns that we saw, right? And how do we now become intentional about being better ourselves and for our children?
100%. And I think that one of the key things, and I've seen this thing play out in a lot of people's situations, where there's so many things that even kids are experiencing and how to even understand their emotions that they don't know where it's from. And that's because we haven't, the onus lies on us to choose to do better, so the next generation can actually tell a different story. So think about it before our next video.
Our last one.
Yes, our last one.
How you can start breaking unhealthy generational patterns.
Yes. All right. Thank you.